call money. Remember one thing, in our working notes, we have adjusted 12,000 rupees, which was the balance left over after adjustment towards share allotment account to the share first call account. And in our example, there was Mr. Harry who has not paid first call on 2000 shares. So there were calls in arrear and there were calls in advance also. So here in our journal entry, what we are going to write: bank account debit, calls in advances account debit, calls in arrear account debit to share first call account. Now share first call accounts need to be credited with rupees 3 per share. Total shares were 50,000. So amount which we will be writing in front of share first call account is 50,000 multiplied by 3 means 1,50,000. Calls in advance which we have adjusted from share application towards first call were amounting to rupees 12,000. Calls in arrear on 2000 shares at rate of rupees 3 were 6,000. It means that we have received 1,30,000 in cash from the shareholder towards the share first call after it becomes due. When final call becomes due, the entry which we are going to pass on October 1 will be share final call account debit rupees 1 lakh to share capital account rupees 1 lakh. Now see what happens when we receive final call from the shareholders. Remember our working notes. It stated that rupees 3,000 were adjusted from share application accounts towards share second and final call account. सो यहाँ पे हमें मिलना कितना चाहिए था 1,00,000, लेकिन 3,000 हमने ऑलरेडी शेयर एप्लीकेशन अकाउंट में एडवांस में रिसीव कर लिया था, तो वो 3,000 वहां से आ गए। बैलेंस 97,000 हमने शेयर होल्डर से कॉल कर लिया और रिसीव कर लिया। सो एंट्री विच विल बी पास्ड इन आवर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स ऑन October 1 विल बी बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट रुपीज 97,000, कॉल्स इन एडवांस अकाउंट डेबिट रुपीज 3,000 to share second and final account rupees 1 lakh. Now see, in our example it was stated that the person who has not paid calls in advance has now paid them with the final call. Now this man has paid the calls in arrear as well as the interest on calls in arrear. First of all, let us calculate the amount which we are going to receive as interest on calls in arrear. So 6,000 rupees worth calls were in arrear, which was due on August 1 and paid on October 1. It means that calls were in arrear for 2 months only, and table A stated that company is allowed to receive 5% rate of interest per annum basis on calls in arrear. So rate of interest here will be 6,000 multiplied by 5 divided by 100 multiplied by 2 divided by 12 amounting to rupees 50. So the entry which we are going to pass here is bank account debit to calls in arrear account to interest on calls in arrear account. So what was the amount of calls in arrear? It was 6,000 and interest on that call in arrear was 50 rupees. So we are going to write 6,000 in front of calls in arrear account and we are going to credit the interest on calls in arrear by rupees 50. So through bank, how much amount we are going to receive? We will be receiving 6,050 rupees from the defaulter. Now step 11. When the interest on calls in advance were paid. Now there were two categories of calls in advance. One category was 12,000 rupees which we adjusted towards first call, and the second category was 3,000 rupees which we adjusted towards final call. 12,000 amount was for the period of 4 months lying with the company, and we know that table A states that 6% rate of interest per annum basis will be paid for calls in advance. So here we are going to pay 6% rate of interest on rupees 12,000 for a period of 4 months amounting to rupees 240. In second category, When we adjusted 3000 rupees towards the final call, it means that money was lying with the company for a period of 6 months. Interest rate as per table is 6%. So interest will be 3000 multiplied by 6 divided by 100 multiplied by 6 divided by 12. Total comes rupees 90. So we are going to pay 240 rupees for 12,000 rupees and 90 rupees for 3,000 rupees received in advance. So the entry will be interest on calls in advance account debit to bank account with the amount 240 plus 90 means 330. Now, it is not necessarily that the company issues the share at par value only. Company can issue the share at premium and can issue the share at discount also. Now, let us take the case when the company issues the shares at premium. First thing is, when the shares are issued at the price over and above their face value, we call it as the shares issued at the premium. And when the shares are issued at premium, a separate account to this effect will be opened up and the excess amount so received, that is over and above the face value, will be transferred to securities premium account. Earlier, securities premium account was used to be called as share premium account, but as per the amendments of Section 78 of the Companies Amendment Act 1999, the word share has been substituted by the word securities. अब हम जो word use करते हैं, जो account हम खोलते हैं, उसका नाम होता है securities premium account. Share premium cannot be credited to profit and loss account. It is not the income of the company. These are not the free reserves. It is shown under the heading reserves and surpluses in the liability side of the balance sheet as long as it is not used according to section 78. Now the question is, what is section 78? Section 78 tells us how the company is authorized to use the share premium. Company can use the share premium for issuing fully paid bonus shares to the members, for writing off preliminary expenditure, for writing off the expenses of or the commission paid or the discount allowed on the issues of shares or debentures of the company, or providing for premium paid on the redemption of the preference shares or on the debentures of the company. Now let us see the accounting treatment. When securities premium is received, the company can demand the security premium at the time of application, allotment or calls. Whatsoever the case is, the journal entry which we are going to pass for receipt of security premium will be bank account debit because bank is coming in, to either share application or share allotment or share first call or share final call with which the company is going to receive the premium. Narration will be being application money received on dash much number of shares, or being the allotment money received, or being the first call money received as per the case. Now, when the money is transferred from the respective account to the securities premium account, then the journal entry will be, now let us suppose that we received the share premium with the share application. So in this case, when we are going to transfer the share application to the share capital account, the premium amount will also be transferred to the securities premium account. And the journal entry will be share application account debited to share capital account to securities premium account, and narration will be being application transferred to share capital account and securities premium account. Now let us take one example. Rockstar company issued 50,000 shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 4 per share on the basis of following table. तो रॉकस्टार एकेडमी ने जो 50,000 के शेयर इशू किए 10 रुपए के हिसाब से, उसको उसने कैसे इशू किया? 2 रुपए उन्होंने रिसीव करने हैं एप्लीकेशन पे, 8 रुपए उन्होंने रिसीव करने हैं अलॉटमेंट में, और इन्हीं 8 रुपए में 4 रुपए का शेयर प्रीमियम भी एडेड है. इसका मतलब 4 रुपए अलॉटमेंट के थे और 4 रुपए प्रीमियम के थे. And then on call they are going to receive rupees 4. So total amount which they will be receiving from the shareholder is rupees 14 for the share worth rupees 10. Excessive 4 rupees is known as the share premium. Now, what happened? That the company received applications for 60,000 shares and the directors decided to refund the excess money to the shareholders. On 2,000 shares, the call money was not received. Now, you are required to pass the journal entries. Let us see what happens. Step 1, when we receive the application money, again the same entry as we have discussed earlier, bank account is coming in against share application account. So company is going to receive rupees 2 on 60,000 shares. So the narration will be being application money received on 60,000 shares at rate of rupees 2 per share. Amount will be 1,20,000 debit and 1,20,000 credit. Step 2, when we are going to adjust the application money towards the share capital account when actual allotment has been made by the company. So the entry will be share application account debit to share capital account as we have already discussed. Amount will be, because we have issued 50,000 shares only and rate was, application money rate was rupees 2, so the narration will be being the application money received on 50,000 shares at rate of rupees 2 per share transferred to share capital account. So the amount on debit side will be rupees 1 lakh, on credit side it will be rupees 1 lakh. Step 3, when company refunded excessive application money. Now we know that we received application for 60,000 share. Actually it was invited for 50,000 share. 10,000 surplus application money has been received at rate of rupees 2. It means 20,000 rupees needs to be paid back to the applicants. So on April 1, the journal entry which the company will pass is share application account debit to bank account. Debit amount 20,000, credit amount 20,000. Step 4, allotment money due. Now allotment money will also be due on 50,000 shares at rate of rupees 4 per share. According to the example, the company is going to charge securities premium also at rate of rupees 4 along with the share allotment. So, when allotment money becomes due, premium money will also become due. An entry will be share allotment account debit to share capital account to securities premium account. Premium was due rupees 4 for 50,000 share, amount rupees 2 lakh. So, we will be writing rupees 2 lakh in front of securities premium account. Similarly, allotment money was due for 50,000 share at rate of rupees 4 amounting to rupees 2 lakh. So we are going to write 2 lakh in front of share capital account, and total money which is expected out of share allotment will become 4 lakh. So we are going to write rupees 4 lakh in front of share allotment account. Step 5, when allotment money is received. अब हमने पूरी अलॉटमेंट मनी रिसीव कर ली है, बैंक आ गया है, अगेंस्ट शेयर अलॉटमेंट आया है, तो हमारी जर्नल एंट्री क्या बनती है? बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू शेयर अलॉटमेंट अकाउंट. हमने कितने रुपीस रिसीव करने थे? 50,000 शेयर्स के ऊपर 8 रुपए के हिसाब से 4 लाख रुपीस. स्टेप 6, व्हेन कॉल बिकम्स ड्यू. जब फर्स्ट कॉल ड्यू होती है, यहाँ पे हम क्या एंट्री करेंगे? शेयर कॉल अकाउंट डेबिट टू शेयर कैपिटल अकाउंट. 50,000 शेयर्स के ऊपर 4 रुपए के हिसाब से कॉल ड्यू कर दीजिए. सो अमाउंट विल बी 50,000 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4, 2 लैक्स. 2 लैक्स ऑन द डेबिट साइड, 2 लैक्स ऑन द क्रेडिट साइड. स्टेप 7, व्हेन कॉल मनी इज